Good evening. Welcome to Eagle News. I'm John Hannibal. The Mongolian economy has recovered from the effects of the worldwide recession and is expected to grow by 7.5% this year. Predictions hold that this rate of growth will remain stable until 2013, when the economy is expected to grow by 20.8%, growth that will largely be spurred by the Oyu-Tolgoi mine. The Mongolian economy has shown signs of recovery from the worldwide global recession that led it to contract by 1.6% in 2009. This year, growth of 7.5% is expected, and in 2011 and 2012 will have growth rates of 8.2% and 7.8% respectively. In 2013, however, with the Oyu-Tolgoi mine becoming operational, the economy is expected to grow by 20.8%. With this growth comes an expected increase in the average income and standard of living. Industry in Mongolia is also growing with a rate of 14%, as are exports led by coal, copper, and iron ore. Imports to Mongolia are also increasing at a rate of 39%. The current Mongolian trade deficit was $228 million in 2009 and is expected to grow to $356 million this year and $686 million in 2011. After dropping to $473 million in 2012, Mongolia is expected to have a massive trade surplus of $1.8 billion in 2013. To spur development in Mongolia, foreign investment limits are being raised, and a proposal to issue government bonds has been submitted to Parliament for approval. Inflation in Mongolia is estimated to remain steady at around 8% through 2013. Because of its potential to reduce overall economic growth, and because it has been an issue in Mongolia recently, economists are working hard to find ways to reduce its negative effects. Inflation in 2008 was 22.1%, and in 2009, with a global economic recession, it dropped to 4.2%. With a recent recovery, inflation is expected to increase. Economic growth, favorable exchange rates, and foreign trade surpluses can all be negated by inflation. Estimates put it at 7.8% for this year and 9.7% for 2011. From 2011 to 2013, predictions put inflation rates at 7 to 8%. Because the Mongolian economy is expected to grow, inflation is expected to rise. Economists have warned that Mongolia needs to take steps to combat this inflation. 3 more cases of HIV have been confirmed in Mongolia. In the past week, 3 Mongolian citizens have tested positive for the virus, including 2 residents of Ulaanbaatar. This brings Mongolia's total to 69, causing health officials to warn of increased risk, especially to younger people. With the diagnosis of 3 new cases in the last week, healthcare providers are worried about the HIV/AIDS situation in Mongolia. Of the 3 cases, 2 were men and 1 was a woman. The patients are being observed and until now have shown no symptoms. Healthcare providers are trying to identify the route of transmission. The majority of previous cases have been diagnosed in the age group 35 to 50, but because the newly diagnosed patients are younger, in their 20s, health officials are concerned and have issued precautions aimed at the youth. Recent years have seen an increase in sexual activity among younger population, and the rate of infection for sexually transmitted diseases has not decreased. Because there are many vectors for infection, including mother to child and through shared needles, citizens are also being warned to be vigilant about sterilized needles when getting injections and tattoos. Materials needed to print national identification cards have run out. Citizens who applied for ID cards last month are still waiting to receive them. Due to a recent, unusually high demand for new national identification cards, the materials needed to print them have run out, and citizens who have turned in applications are still waiting. The surge in applications was spurred by the recent disbursement of 70,000 tugriks to each citizen from the Human Development Fund. Because the lamination is imported into Mongolia, the supply cannot be quickly increased, and despite having ordered enough material for an anticipated extra 5,000 cards, it has run out, forcing citizens to wait. The National Registration Center, which is in charge of coordinating the orders for the necessary materials, is meeting with the agencies that issue various identification cards. According to Bayersachen, Chief of Staff for the agency, materials are expected to arrive this week, and citizens wishing to claim their shares from the Human Development Fund will soon be able to do so. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Hannibal. See you next week.